guys, good morning. It's Sunday, July 2nd. I'm here with a team of people who are upstairs putting in the sound panels in the auditorium, standing in our multi-purpose room for our kids ministry area. A lot of your kids will worship right here in this room. A few people came up today to do a couple of things to help save the church some money and work on a few projects, so we're really thankful that they did that. But we took today off gathering corporately so that we could finish up a few things that we needed to do here. I've been looking at social media. I know a lot of you are out camping and enjoying your family. I hope you have a great 4th of July weekend. Next week we're going to take off from worshiping corporately as well, but I'll tell you more about that in just a few moments. The last few weeks at Journey, as we were preparing to move into this facility, we've been walking through Joshua chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we've been talking about the people of God crossing over the Jordan River into the Promised Land. And obviously that has a lot to do with us as a church, and it has a lot of parallels for us moving into uncharted waters and into new territory. We've talked about what it would look like to move from one place to another, to not be settlers, to be pioneers, to move into a new territory. And the first week we talked about that even though that the land was promised, it was not possessed, that there would be battles to fight. In fact, in Joshua chapter 12, it lists 31 kings that the people of God had to defeat in order to possess the land. So we know that as we cross over the Jordan, there's still battles to be fought. And so this morning, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a devotion, a little bit of encouraging thought for us as a church as we make our next steps into this place. I was reading this morning in Joshua chapter 1, and the night before they're going to cross over into the Jordan, into the Promised Land through the Jordan River, Joshua is giving instructions to the 12 tribes of Israel. And for 3 of those tribes, the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, he gives special instructions. There are 12 tribes gathered there together, crossing over, about 2 million people. And to those 3 tribes, he gives special instructions about what they're to do as they cross over into the Promised Land. It's really important to know that of these 12 tribes, God had given them specific geographic territory that was to be their inheritance. And the tribes of Reuben and Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh, they were inheriting the property on the east side of the Jordan. In other words, they were already standing in their promised land. But he gives special instructions to them, and he says, look, I know you've sacrificed, we've wandered in the wilderness for 40 years, but the battle's not done. And we need to cross over to the other side, and we need all of you to go with us and help fight the battles for the remainder of the people. In fact, in Joshua chapter 1, he tells them in verse 15, he says, you are to help them. Even though you're already standing in your promised land, even though you've already sacrificed, you are to help the remaining tribes of Israel until the Lord gives them the rest that he has done for you. In other words, the promised land that he's already given to you, then you keep fighting until everyone else experiences that same rest, that same possession. And so the word for us today as a church is that so many of you, you're going to make the commute. You're going to move. You're going to move 8 miles with us into new territory. And over the last maybe decade or so, so many of you have invested in Journey Church. You've sacrificed, you've led, you've served in so many ways. But as we move here to this place, this really isn't about settling in and saying now we're home and someone else can do the work. Just like for those 3 tribes, he says we have to continue to fight. In fact, they're the first 3 tribes over the Jordan in the Promised Land, and it says they were ready for battle. And so I'm just encouraging you, Journey Church, as we move into new territory, uncharted waters, into a community to love and serve in the name of Jesus, that you come not thinking I'm going to settle in, I'm going to rest, I'm going to let someone else do the work, but man, I'm coming to commit, I'm coming to give even more than I have before, to make sure that all of the people who come behind me, all of the new families, all of the new individuals will find Christ and continue to grow in their relationship with him, that we want to be ready for the fights that are coming. In fact, we want to be the first ones across to welcome new people into their new home. So I challenge you today, encouraging you with that, as we step in, don't settle, be a pioneer and help other people take their next steps. So next week, July the 9th, we are planning to do a family work day here at 10 o'clock. So you can come with your family, and we're going to be unboxing some things. We're going to be doing some landscape, that kind of stuff here at the new facility, helping to move in. Our plan right now is to have our first trial run services on July the 16th, the following Sunday at 9 and 10:45. Those are different times than we have before. 9 and 10:45, we're giving ourselves a little bit extra time to transition in and out of the parking lots. And so those things are coming. We'll give you more information. If anything changes, we'll let you know. Really, really excited about what God is doing in this place. Can't wait for this room to be filled with kids, for this building to be filled with people who are trying to find their way home as we help them take their next steps with Christ. I hope you have a great 4th of July weekend, and I'll see you next Sunday.